Ever feel like this when you're trying to change chords? Don't worry, I got the ultimate hack that makes chord changing a breeze. My name is Rob Reed. I'm a public school music teacher. Let's check it out. One of the biggest hurdles to get over when first learning how to play the guitar is being able to change chords quickly and smoothly. You want to move through the chord changes without even thinking about it, kind of like walking. One of the biggest problems I've seen beginner students have is they just randomly put fingers down on the fretboard and hope for the best. You need a clear and concise plan to set you up for success. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to change between basic chords and bar chord shapes. Then I'm going to show you a great way to move between the A, D, and E chords. And stick around to the end, and I want to show you a great trick on how to change between more complicated shapes. So the trick to changing chords quickly and smoothly is knowing that this is your first finger, this is your second finger, this is your third finger, and this is your fourth finger. And then you put your first finger down first, your second finger down second, and your third finger down third, and your fourth finger down fourth. And what this does is it gives you a plan and a method and a routine every time when you're placing your chords. And you're going to start off slow and it's kind of cumbersome, but eventually you'll build up speed to the point where you'll just automatically drop your fingers down in the right place. So it's a little slow, then you get a little bit faster and faster, until eventually you just drop your fingers all down at once. So it works perfectly for all your basic chords. Let's check out C, for example. First finger down first, second finger down second, third finger down third, and then you just get a little faster over time, keep practicing, and eventually you just drop them all at once. So for G, first finger down first, second finger down second, third finger down third, and you have this method and order every time. Your brain's not scrambled up and you're not confused. And eventually you just drop them down instantly. Another chord, A chord. First finger first, second, third, first, second, third, first, second, third. And you're kind of hunting and pecking at the start, but eventually it gets faster. A minor, first finger down first, second, third, first, second, third. And then the E chord, first, second, third, first, second, third, and eventually you just put them all down at once. Now let's check out some more complicated chords like the bar chords. So for the F chord, you have to bar. So you'll bar that first, and then your second finger and your third finger. So first, second, third. And it's a way of helping you find the notes of the chord as well. And you just go down instantly. And let's check out B minor. So full bar chords, you put your first bar down first, then your second finger, and then your third and your fourth. So first, second, third, fourth. First, second, third, fourth. And eventually you just drop them all at once. And a fuller bar chord shape, first finger, second finger, third, and fourth. And eventually they all go down at once. So now you have a method and an order of putting your fingers down on the fretboard, and it kind of clears up and gets rid of the disorganized chaos when you're placing your chords. Another great way of changing chords when you're in the key of A is what I call the lift, slide, jump method. So you're going to put your first finger on the third string, and so on. And you have a bit of a different shape, but it makes it easier for getting to your other chords. So you're going to lift off, slide your first finger back. So your first finger acts as a guide finger and just slides back, doesn't come off the fretboard. So you move back to the first fret, and then you jump over to the fifth and fourth string to get to your E chord. Okay, so, and then you lift and slide forward and go back to your A. So your first finger is an anchor finger that doesn't move off the fretboard, and it keeps you from getting lost. So when you're going from the A to the D chord, all you do is you lift off and drop down to the D chord. Okay, and then you just lift up and jump back to the A chord. And another great way to get to more difficult chord shapes is a trick I picked up from a prof at university. He taught us to first visualize the chord shape in our head, in our mind, and then bring our hand to the fretboard to play it. So you basically just sit and just envision the chord shape in your mind, and then you lift your hand up to the neck and play the shape. Okay, so you kind of struggle at first to find it, but eventually you get it every time. So you can just adjust your fingers. And you learn to see the chord shape in your mind, and you learn how it feels on the neck. So let's try a major 13 shape. So I'm going to envision it in my mind, and I lift my hand to play it. So you might miss it the first time. So let's adjust my hand. And eventually, you'll get it every time. So you can kind of turn it into a game. So hopefully this will make your chord changing go a lot easier. If you want to learn how to play fingerstyle guitar, check out this video. See you in the next one.